All right, Shalom Yashala, back with another GMS on the go. I'm Brother Nakam. I'm with the Raleigh, North Carolina camp. Before I go any further, I'd like to give all honor, all glory, and all praises to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem, Rakar Kodash. Next up, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who are teaching us this truth according to the Bible and who rule well, and a double shalom to all the sincere Akim throughout the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth and righteousness and sincerity to the best of ability. And I was able to get up today, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shema Shah, Yahweh being the Heavenly Father, which his name means he is or he exists, and Yahweh Shah being the only begotten Son, which his name means he saves, he delivers. And I'm just going to get into a lesson on how the day of the Lord is really going to be. You see, because contrary to popular belief, you got the whole world thinking that the day of the Lord is nice. The day of the Lord is going to be good times, laughter, hugs and kisses. When that's not, really on the how the day of the Lord is going to be when you open up this Bible and read it. If anything, when you open up this Bible and read it, it tells you that the day of the Lord is going to be, darkness and not light. You see, it tells you that the day of the Lord is going to be bad. You see, it's not going to be a good time. So without further ado, I'm going to just dive into it and just flow through the spirit. This is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 9. Howl ye, for the day of Yahweh Ba'Shema Shai is at hand. That's right. And when you look into that word howl, it means to cry. You see, and that's exactly what 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans who are the real biblical Hebrew Israelites are going to be doing soon come. Y'all are going to be howling. Y'all are going to be crying. Why? Because the day of Yahweh Ba'Shema Shai, who the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus, is at hand. You see, Yahweh Ba'Shema Shai, they're about to bring a whole bunch of plagues and calamities upon the face of the earth, here to America and around the four corners of the earth, but mainly in this place called America. You see, because this place called America is wicked as all hell. You see, Yahweh Ba'Shema Shai, they're about to bring martial law, race riots, the FEMA camps with the guillotine inside of them to chop your head off. They're about to bring a famine of food and thirst, a whole bunch of brutal animals to eat you to death. You see, they're about to bring a whole bunch of diseases. They're about to bring Leviathan. They're going to bring 200 million ICBM missiles that these other nations are going to send over to this place called America and destroy it, right along with the chariots, which the world ignorantly calls UFOs, with the laser beam of fire coming down from the bottom of it. You see, these are the plagues, Yahweh Ba'Shema Shai's wrath that he's going to bring, to destroy this place called America. You see, and 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans, y'all are going to be crying because y'all are going to be going through so much hell in that day. You see? So this is what the day of the Lord is going to consist of. You see, the day of the Lord is bad. You see, the day of the Lord is a serious time. It reads on. It shall come at the destruction from the Almighty. That's right. So when the day of the Lord pops off, it's going to come as a destruction from the Almighty. And they ain't talking about Allah. They ain't talking about Buddha. They ain't talking about the Hindu goddess Shiva. They ain't talking about Santa Maria. They ain't talking about Caesar Borgia, Serapis. They ain't talking about Baphomet. They're talking about the one and only living true power, Yahweh Ba'Shema Shai. You see, that's who the destruction is going to come from. Yahweh Ba'Shema Shai. You see, so the day of the Lord is a serious time. The day of the Lord is going to be bad. There ain't going to be no good in it. So I'm going to jump down to verse 9. This is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 9. Behold. And when you look into that word behold, it means to look. So look. The day of Yahweh Ba'Shema Shai cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger. And real quick, I'm going to get the definition on that word cruel, just for edification's sake. All right. It says the definition of cruel: willfully causing pain or suffering to others or feeling no concern about it. That's right. And that's what the day of the Lord is going to be like. You see, Yahweh Ba'Shema Shai wants 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans to suffer. You see, so when Yahweh Shemashah brings all these different plagues and calamities upon the face of the earth, you see, y'all are going to be suffering. And when y'all are suffering, Yahweh Shemashah is not going to have no concern about y'all, going through all this hell, catching so much hell. Why? Because he wants to do it to you. You see, because 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans, y'all have been wicked your whole life, committing a whole bunch of abominations, wicked, filthy acts on the face of the earth. You see, so Yahweh Shemashah is going to come willfully causing pain upon 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans. Again, when he brings all these different plagues and calamities upon the face of the earth. I'm going to get some synonyms real quick. Some synonyms of cruel, it says brutal, savage, inhumane, bloodthirsty, murderous, cutthroat, fierce, wicked, evil, monstrous, abominable. And abominable means, wicked, filthy act. Let me get one more. Stony hearted, and so forth on. These are some synonyms of the word cruel. So I'm just gonna get ahead and go back now. This is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 9 from the top again. Behold, the day of Yahweh Shemashah cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger. And that's right. And how is Yahweh Shemashah going to show that they're coming back cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger? Again, by these different plagues and calamities that they're going to bring upon the face of the earth here to America. They're gonna show that they're coming cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, by the way of the race riots, martial law. With these Gurkha troops kicking in your door, dragging you to FEMA camps, to chop your head off if you don't take the RFID chip. They're going to show that they're coming back cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, by the way of a famine of food and thirst, to where you people are going to be starving your tails off. You see, they're going to show that they're coming back cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, by the way these different diseases. You see, these brutal animals that they're going to unleash against the masses to eat you people to death. You see, they're going to show it by the way of Leviathan. You see, they're going to show it by the way of these 200 million ICBM missiles that are going to destroy this place called America, that these other nations are going to send over to this place. Right along with the chariots, with the concentrated fire coming down from the bottom of it. You see, that's how Yahweh Shemashah are going to show that they're coming back cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger. It reads on, to lay the land desolate. And that's right. And what's going to lay this land called America desolate, uninhabited? Those 200 million ICBM missiles on Russia, China, Syria, North Korea, Turkey, and so forth on, shooting those missiles off, to destroy this place called America. It's going to make this place called America desolate, uninhabited. You see, the only thing that's going to happen to America once those missiles hit is those animals, those desert creatures, things that can withstand the heat. It reads on, and he should destroy the sinners thereof out of it. And that's right. And Yahweh Shemashah is going to destroy the sinners, the ones of you so-called Negroes, Latin Americans, who will transgress the laws, statutes, commandments of the Bible. He's going to destroy you out of this land called America too. When those missiles hit. You see, so this is the day of the Lord. This is what the day of the Lord consists of. You see, the day of the Lord is going to be very bad. You see, again, the day of the Lord is a serious time, contrary to what people think. The day of the Lord is really going to be like. You see, the day of the Lord is not to be played with. It's a serious time. So I'm going to grab another precept real quick. Jeremiah 11:11. Yep. This is Jeremiah chapter 11, verse 11. Therefore, thus says Yahweh Shemashah, behold, and again that word behold means to look. So look, I will bring evil upon them. You see, this is the day of the Lord. You see, Jeremiah is telling you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemashah, who the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus, that what? They're going to bring evil upon you. And when you look into that word evil, it means bad times. You see, so bad times is getting ready to come upon 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans. You see, Yahweh Shemashah again is going to bring race riots, martial law, a famine of food and thirst, a whole bunch of brutal animals to eat you people to death. You see Leviathan bringing the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. He's bringing the end all be all, the 200 million ICBM missiles that these other nations are going to send to destroy this place called America, right along with the chariots, which the world enemy calls UFOs, with the concentrated fire coming down from the bottom of it. You see, and so forth on. You see, that's the evil, the bad times that Yahweh Shemashah is about to bring here to this place called America, you know, to where you so-called Negroes, Latin Americans are going to be on catching so much hell at. You see? The day of the Lord is a bad and serious time. You so-called Negroes, Latin Americans, you need to get up out of that mind state, thinking that the day of the Lord is all good and it's all on happy hours, you know. It reads on. I'm gonna read that from the top again. This is Jeremiah chapter 11, verse 11. Therefore, thus says Yahweh Shemashah, behold, I will bring evil upon them, which shall not be able to escape. That's right, because when Yahweh Shemashah bring their judgment, their wrath upon the face of the earth, to where you so-called Negroes, Latin Americans are going to be going through, y'all are not going to be able to escape. You know, Yahweh Shemashah's judgment, his wrath that he got waiting for you, what's going to come upon you. Y'all not going to be able to escape. It reads on. And though they shall cry unto me, I will not hearken unto them. That's right, because 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latin Americans, y'all going to be catching so much hell, y'all going to be crying unto Yahweh Shemashah. But guess what? Yahweh Shemashah, they're not going to hear you. You see, because when you had time to get right, when you had the prophets, starting with apostles and others, great millstone, you know, down to regular brothers like myself, you know, out there on the highways and byways, week in and week out, in season, out of season, you know, dealing with all these different elements, giving you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans warning, y'all didn't want to take heed. You see, you know, y'all thought y'all was too good to take heed to the word. So when y'all start catching hell, and y'all start crying unto Yahweh Shemashah, you see, they're not going to hearken unto you. They're not going to listen, because you didn't listen unto them. They're their prophets. You see, so the day of the Lord, man, it's going to be a bad day, a bad time for 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans. So I'm going to get another preset real quick, and I'm going to close out. I ain't going to make this a long lesson. 10. All right. This is Amos chapter 5, verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of Yahweh Shemashah. That's right. And when you look into that word woe, it means death and destruction. So death and destruction unto 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans who are desiring the day of the Lord. You see, who are happy that Yahweh Shemashah is on his way back. You see, woe unto 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans who are excited that Yahweh Shemashah, you know, is showing signs that he's coming and that he's coming fast. It reads on. To what end is it for you? That's right. So the ones of you so-called Negroes, Latin Americans who are desiring the day of the Lord to come back, what end is it to you? That's right, you know. What end is the day of the Lord unto 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latin Americans, knowing that Yahweh Shemashah is coming back? The end of it to you is death and destruction. Why? Because you've been wicked your whole life, committing a whole bunch of abominations, you know, wicked, filthy acts, doing things that Yahweh Shemashah said not to do. You know, here it is, 2/3 of our people, they smoking weed, cigarettes, black and mouths, you know, defiling their temple, indulging in sodomy, man with man, woman with woman, committing adultery, sleeping with the next man's wife, vice versa, you know, marring their beards and making baldness upon their head, worshiping all these different false gods who are no gods, you know, celebrating all these pagan holidays that Yahweh Shemashah despise. You see, 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans, y'all have been doing evil in the sight of Yahweh Shemashah's eyes. You see, so the ones of you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans who are desiring the day that Yahweh Shemashah to come back, the end of it to y'all is death and destruction. Because again, y'all been wicked your whole life. It reads on. The day of Yahweh Shemashah is darkness and not light. That's right. You see, so the day of Yahweh Shemashah is going to be darkness, and there ain't going to be no light in it. Meaning what? It's gonna be very, 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 very bad out here. You see, it's gonna be very bad, and there ain't gonna be no good in it. You see, what's good about martial law? What's good about FEMA camps with the guillotine inside of to chop your head off? What's good about the race riots? What's good about these brutal animals eating you to death? That Yahweh Shema Shah is gonna send upon the masses of the people. You see, what's good about 200 million ICBM missiles destroying this place? With 2/3 of these so-called Negroes, Latino Americans in it. What's good about the chariots was the word they cause UFOs coming back? To burn you people up with the concentrated fire coming down from the bottom of it. You see, it ain't nothing good about none of this stuff. You see, so the day of the Lord is darkness, and there ain't gonna be no light in it. You see, ain't gonna be nothing good about it. You see, the day of the Lord is a very bad time. And 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latin Americans, you will be caught up in it. It reads on, as if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. And that's right. You see, so when the day of the Lord comes, 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latin Americans, you see, it says if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him. You see, because in that day, this is likened unto in that day when all hell breaks loose, 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans, you might get away from one bad incident, like the famine of food and thirst. You might find you something to eat, but then what? You're gonna be faced with another bad situation, another problem, which might be the diseases. You might escape that situation, that bad problem, and then what? You're gonna be faced with another bad incident, to where you might be going through on the race riots. And if you get away from the race riots, you're gonna get caught up in something else. You see? So there ain't no escape from what's going to come upon 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans. You see, if you don't get taken by one thing, you're gonna be getting taken by something else. And that's what the day of the Lord is gonna be like. It's gonna be evil. It's gonna be a bad time for 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans. But I'm gonna read that from the top again from verse 19. This is Amos chapter 5, verse 19. As if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. You see, so right, again, 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans, y'all gonna be faced with one bad incident and get caught up in another one. You're gonna be faced with another bad incident and get caught up in another one. You see, so there ain't no escaping from what's going to come upon 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans. And this is the day of the Lord. I'm going to read the verse 20. This is Amos chapter 5, verse 20. Shall not the day of Yahweh Shema Shah be darkness and not light? It reads on, even very dark and no brightness in it. And that's right. This is a question. The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. It's going to be very bad out here. It ain't going to be nothing good about what's coming. You see, this is what the day of the Lord consists of. So I'm going to get another precept. Let me see. Jeremiah 30. Yep. This is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. At last, for that day is great. And what day is that talking about? It's talking about the times that's fastly approaching, the times that's coming up. It reads on, so that none is like it. That's right, because the times that we're coming into, the times that we're fastly approaching, can't no time on the face of the earth can compare to what's getting ready to go down in these times. You see, 70 AD can't compare to this time. Ancient Egypt can't compare to this time. The flood can't compare to this time. Sodom and Gomorrah can't compare to this time. No time on the face of the earth can compare to this bad time that's coming up now. You see, because what? You're gonna have, again, race riots going on, martial law going on, a famine of food and thirst going on. You're gonna have a whole bunch of brutal animals eating these wicked people going on. You're gonna have a whole bunch of diseases going on. You're gonna have missiles being shot to destroy this place called America, right along with the chariots with the word and called UFOs, with the concentrated fire coming down from the bottom of it. You see, the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, going on. You see, and so forth on. You see, these are the times that we're living in. You see, this is what the day of the Lord is going to be like. So again, the ones of you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans, who are thinking that the day of the Lord is all good, and all peaceful, and so forth on, you're sadly mistaken, because you got another thing coming. The day of the Lord is going to be a very bad and serious time. It reads on. I'm reading that from the top again. This is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he should be saved out of it. Right. It's even a time of Jacob's trouble, you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans, but he should be saved out of it. Meaning what? The elect of the nation of Israel is going to be saved up out of these upcoming times. The elect is going to be saved up out of it, and Lord willing, I'll be at that number right along with the rest of you sincere brothers pushing this truth and righteousness and sincerity. So I just wanted to get into a quick lesson on how the day of the Lord was going to be. Or not how it was going to be, how the day of the Lord is going to be, contrary to popular belief. So with that, I hope you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans have been edified. Before I go any further, I'd like to give all honor, all glory, and all praises to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakal Kodash. Next up, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, from teaching this truth according to the Bible, and rule well, and a double shalom to all the sincere Akim throughout the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and righteousness and sincerity to the best of your ability. Until next time, with that, shalom.